What's up, guys? So another weekend and then another UFC event this Saturday. Going back to Brazil, UFC on ESPN plus 22. The main event is Blachowicz versus Jacare Souza, and it's a pretty good event, to be honest. For free, well, not really for free, but for those that have ESPN plus, or if you streamline it or whatever. Last weekend I didn't make a video for the fight cut in Russia because it was a whole bunch of unknown names. But like I always said, I did my picks. I hit 8 out of 13. So that decent results. And well, like I said, everything that I say, you can verify visiting my topology, the MMA Sensei, and you will see my results. So 8 out of 13. I will only make a comment on the main event, Sabit versus Jacare. I picked Sabit to win by decision, and he won by decision. But yeah, everybody's on the same page on this one. Unless Sabit does something that fixes his cardio, he will lose whenever he gets paired up with whenever he gets scheduled for a 5-minute 5-round fight. He's lost the third round versus Jacare, versus Bogniak, versus Stevens. So I mean, Max Holloway would destroy him, or anyone that can, go 5 rounds. So he needs to work that, and I hope he does, because I'm a big fan of the guy. So, but that's it for that. And then, so Jacare and Blachowicz. I have Blachowicz by TKO round 2. Last time Jacare fought, he fought Hermanson, and I picked Hermanson to win by decision. And I see it playing out kind of similar on this one, in the sense of there's no way, I don't see Jacare going out there with the game plan of trading punches with Blachowicz, because Blachowicz is a much better striker. Luke Rockhold, for having a bad chin, that is his downfall, he's a really good striker, and Blachowicz was able to outstrike him and outland him. Rockhold had his moments for a second, but overall, I just think the striking of Blachowicz is so much better than Jacare is, and if he's done his homework and prepared himself the way that he should for Jacare, it should be an easy game plan. Just keep the fight standing and be the better striker that he is. But I think he will, and I think he will do that. I think he'll keep it standing and get a knockout on that second round once he's found his distance, and I think he's gonna time a good one on Jacare and knock him out. So I got Blachowicz TKO round 2. Then Shogun Rua versus Paul Craig. This is interesting because, so I have Shogun, but not super confident. And the reason I'm not super confident with Shogun is because if there's something that Shogun is known for throughout his career, is that he absolutely sucks when he has a year layoff or more. Every single one of his fights where he's had a long layoff, he comes back super rusty, super slow, uncoordinated, almost looks like an amateur there. And it's been a year. I mean, it's basically a year. I think it's December 8th. So that's the thing. What kind of Shogun is going to show up this Saturday? The Shogun that looks like shit after a year? Or the same Shogun that fought against Tyson Pedro, who, I was surprised because I picked him to lose that one and he won by knockout, and he actually did very good. So I think on the stand-up, Shogun is way better than Craig. And Craig has been knocked out before, and one of the things that Shogun has also is he has one-punch knockout power. So I have Shogun winning this one by TKO. But if rusty, slow Shogun shows up, he will probably get destroyed. So I'm a fan of Shogun, and I'm hoping, he comes very well prepared, not with ring rust, and we'll find out Saturday. So I'm not super confident on that one. I'm like 60-40 Shogun, just because I'm afraid what Shogun's gonna show up. Then Charles Oliveira and James Gordon. I believe it's James, is it? Jared Gordon. God, that's right. Uh, Oliveira, to me, this doesn't make any sense. I think Oliveira should be fighting someone way higher ranked than Jerry Gordon. I think it's gonna be a classic, typical Oliveira fight where he goes there. I mean, Oliveira, for being the submission artist that he is, he's actually a very good striker, a very fast, technical striker, and mixes in very well, punches, kicks, and if if he takes you down, if he gets a hold of you, so Oliveira is one of those guys that he submits you. So again, this fight doesn't make too much sense to me, especially after what he did to Lenz and Timur. I think he should have got a top 5. What's his fight at? It's a lightweight. So yeah, I guess because the lightweight division is so stacked that it just doesn't make sense to me. But Oliveira by submission, round 1 is my pick on that one. And then Arroyo versus Muniz. These are new names to me, but I was able to watch footage on them. Both of them last competed in Dana White's Tuesday Night Contenders, and I saw the odds that are very similar, and really they are. I mean, they're both pretty amazing fighters for what I've seen on Contenders. But the one thing that I think makes the difference here is just how I think the grappling and wrestling of Muniz is so much more aggressive, and while Arroyo, what I saw on his striking was better than Muniz, like the typical striker and grappler wrestler. It is said that the wrestler usually wins. The grappler usually beats the striker, but this one is tough. And I can see why the odds are 50-50 on this one, but I can definitely see Arroyo getting the knockout, and I can definitely see Muniz taking him down and submitting him. So I'm going to lean a little bit towards Andre Muniz by submission. It's usually how it plays out when it's this kind of situation. But again, not on this one, not super confident either. The Arroyo, the striking that I saw from him was pretty good, so I got Muniz on this one though. And then Perez and Willington Turman. I have Turman on this one by solid 30-27 decision. I don't think there's anything special about Marcus Perez. I mean, he doesn't really, I wouldn't even say he's well-rounded, because he doesn't I think he just knows a little bit of everything, but not good enough. It's more of like a basic guy. I don't think he's an amazing striker. I don't think he's super fast. I don't think he has an amazing takedown defense or amazing submissions. I just think he knows a little bit of everything, but it's not good enough to call him well-rounded. I think Turman is way better striker, way faster, more explosive, and I think I think Turman is going to try to keep it as a striking battle, where Perez might try to use some grappling, but it just won't be good enough. He's just not good enough on that aspect. So I have Turman by solid 30-27 decision. And I think he's underdog, so that might change. Or, I don't know. We'll see. And then Ramos versus Garagori. I have Ramos by decision on this one. Garagori was barely able to beat Humberto Bandenay, who, this was at home, who, other than that one kick on his debut, he didn't show anything. That debut was amazing. He was a huge underdog and got the knockout within a few minutes into the fight. And after that, he showed that he had nothing going on. And even Garagori, he won. Bandenay had its moments in that one. That just shows you how just not good Garagori is. I think Ramos walks through him in a decision, though. So 30-27 Ramos by decision. And then I can't leave Renan Barao out of this one. Whenever Renan Barao fights, you have to talk about him. This is the guy that went from being at the top of the world, not just on bantamweights, but he was also being called pound for pound number one. And Dana White said that he was on his way to being great as ever. And man, what a I don't understand how he went. I mean, normally when fighters get old and they start to retire, they start to lose. But Barao was still a young guy when he started to just where he can't beat anybody. I mean, after TJ, when they say they took his soul, man, TJ took his soul and whatever else. I will say though, on his last fight versus Luke Sanders, Barao dominated all round one. Oh, it wasn't even close. Like, had he landed a few more punches or maybe got a knockdown, that would have been a 10-8 for Barao. So it's interesting. You know, despite all this shit, his skill is there, his speed is there, his technique, his kicks, his it's still really, really high level. But I don't understand why someone that is so good with so much skill, coming from a good camp like Nova Uniao, do they not have a coach where they can say, dude, work on your damn cardio? I have the same issue with Anthony Pettis. It's like, this guy's camp should be 80% conditioning and then 20% just sharpening their fighting skills. Because if Barao would have fought the way he fought round one, he would still be a top 10 guy, maybe even top 5. But he gasses after a round, like considerably slows down. So nothing guarantees me that Barao, is going to be better on this one. I have to pick Andrade. I mean, this guy punches super hard, is super fast, is explosive, and he doesn't gas in one round. So, I mean, again, I'm also a fan of Barao, and I hope he proves me wrong that he's actually working his cardio. But until I see it, you can't pick a guy that only has one round to fight. So I have Andrade by TKO. So I have Blachowicz by TKO, Rua by TKO, Oliveira by submission, Muniz by submission, Wellington Turman by decision, Ramos by decision, and Andrade by TKO. All right, guys, have a good one.